Hello everybody, Landa here, and today I will be ranking all 8 Mario Kart games. Mario Kart is honestly one of my favorite video game franchises. In fact, it's also one of the first I ever started playing. Pretty much the first game I remember playing was Mario Kart Double Dash, and ever since then I've actually played all 8 Mario game, well, 8 main Mario games at least that I consider. Um, which is not common for me. Usually, I don't get to play every game in a franchise, but with this, I have. I guess Tour being the exception, though I feel like that's of a mobile game, so it's kind of a bit different, and for that, it won't be on this list. But without further ado, let's get into this ranking. Coming in at the number 8 spot, this is going to be Super Mario Kart. I know it might seem lame and basic to put the first ever Mario Kart game in last place because it was older and the technology wasn't up to the point, but honestly, I feel like I couldn't put any other game in last place. Super Mario Kart, while I commend it for being the start of this franchise, it really just is super basic in its track design, and the gameplay as well just isn't fun to me. It's the one Mario Kart game where if you asked me, do you want to play it? And I'd probably just say, not really. And that's just that. I mean, I bet it was great for the time, and it was really influential in starting this franchise, but it's just not, doesn't hold up to today. In at the number 7 spot, this is kind of a controversial placement, but I'm going to be going with Mario Kart 64. Yes, I know. A lot of people grew up playing this one, and I understand why they'd like it and why. I mean, honestly, it's not even a bad game all the way at 7. There's a good amount of decent tracks in there, and ones that I enjoy playing on. The real reason I put it all the way back down here at 7, though, is because the rubber banding, primarily. I mean, I played this game recently, and it just kind of stood out to me, especially the rubber banding, because I've heard about it. I didn't really notice it when I was younger, but hearing about it and playing it again, I could really notice it, and it kind of just made it annoying to play at times. Like, you could do whatever in your power, and the computers would still come on top somehow, which is pretty crazy. But it's nonetheless still a decent game, just doesn't hold up. In at the number 6 spot is a game that I haven't played very much. It's definitely the least I've played out of these 8 games, and that's going to be Mario Kart 7. I have played a little bit of it, and from what I know or remember, it has some good tracks. There's a lot of good stuff in the tracks and all that. However, A, because it's the one I played the least, and B, just because the way the gameplay is and everything, this game is just the least memorable to me out of all the Mario Kart games. It could be easily forgotten, even though it did introduce big aspects like flying and anti-gravity. But still, I've actually had a decent amount of fun playing it, from what I can remember, so alright, I guess. Pretty middle of the road, but not bad. Now, at the number 5 spot, things really started to get a bit tricky, because we're really getting into the ones that I thoroughly enjoy and will play whenever I get the chance. And number 5 on this is going to be Mario Kart Super Circuit. Mario Kart Super Circuit is a game that I actually didn't get to play until fairly recently, and I thought it was really fun. I mean, yes, it has the 2D graphics similar to Super Mario Kart. However, this game does the most it can with its technological limitations, and I really like that about it. Yeah, it doesn't have the greatest graphics, but what it does is have some excellent gameplay with tracks that they really did all they could with what they were given. And I think that is awesome. It's just a fun game. Very skill-based, too, I noticed. I feel like with other games, you'll have barrages of items that just destroy you randomly, and it doesn't really matter how good you are when that stuff happens. But I feel like in this game, items are very balanced, at least from my experience playing it, and that causes the game to be more skill-based. So, yeah, just a real fun one, and I enjoy it. In that the number 4 spot is another handheld Mario Kart game. In fact, this is my favorite of the 3 handhelds, and that is Mario Kart DS. This one I played a ton. When I got a DS, this was one of my first games on it, and I played pretty much as I could with this game. I played in the car. I just played at home. I'd play it anywhere. It didn't matter where it was. I loved to play this game. But not only is its portability make it very convenient to play wherever you want, the track selection here is really good. There's plenty of great ones, whether it be Tick-Tock Clock, Airship Fortress, or of course, the legendary Waluigi Pinball. There's a lot of great memorable tracks in this one. Just a really solid Mario Kart game. In at the number 3 spot is a fan favorite, and some people might consider my ranking of it at number 3 to be too low, but I assure you I still love this game, and that is Mario Kart Wii. I definitely can understand why so many people love this game. The gameplay is top notch, and the new features like bikes and being able to do tricks really made for some excellent gameplay. And that's not even talking about the map selection, which might be one of the best in the entire game. You've got Maple Treeway, Koopa Cape, Coconut Mall. These are just a few of the amazing tracks on this in this game. This game really is amazing, and I can see why so many people have this as their favorite Mario Kart game. Coming in at the number 2 spot is a game that was my favorite for a while and just recently was bumped down, and still is my sentimental favorite, and this is Mario Kart Double Dash. This, like I mentioned before, was the first Mario Kart game I played, and pretty much the first video game I remember playing. It's awesome. I love the double driver feature. It just really adds to the game and makes it unique, and no other Mario Kart game since then, or before then, has done this, and I think it's just a really cool feature, and when you include or add in the character-based items, then you've got an awesome combo, and it also just has some good tracks. It's funny, the tracks are usually one of the points I look at the most, but with this game, the gameplay is so great that it didn't even need to have super crazy tracks. It could just have simple tracks and still be fun, and it is. And so yeah, number 2, Mario Kart Double Dash, really close to being number 1. However, coming in at my number 1 spot is going to be Mario Kart 8. Now, for, again, the longest time I've had Mario Kart Double Dash at number 1. It's my sentimental favorite. But with the Booster Course Pass doubling the amount of tracks in the game, I feel like I can't put it anywhere else, especially since I do enjoy the gameplay of this and all the features it has, and of course, the plethora of amazing tracks. I mean, by default, this game has the most good tracks on it because it has the most tracks. But I don't just like it because it has the most tracks. The tracks are genuinely fun, and the anti-gravity feature really adds to what you can do with a Mario Kart track. And I really appreciate that, and I think it's just a cool factor. Plus, it's fun to be able to play online in this game, because I never was able to really play much online Mario Kart Wii. I know there is a way to do so, but I haven't done that yet. So really, the only Mario Kart game I play online is Mario Kart 8, and it's fun, even though I suck at it. But it's just an amazing game to throw on at a party, or just say, hey, you want to play Mario Kart 8? To anyone. I mean, seriously, I just think it is the best Mario Kart game at this point. And I feel like was Nintendo's goal with how much they're adding to it. So yeah, number 1 spot goes to Mario Kart 8. Well, there you have it. There's my list ranking the 8 main Mario Kart games. This is just my opinion. Feel free to let me know what your ranking is in the comments. Well, thank you all for watching, and until next time, see ya.